welcome everyone to the call this evening. My name is Latoya Landry and I am your host for tonight. So welcome everyone onto the call. You are in for an awesome treat. Again, my name is Latoya Landry, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. And I am so excited to be your host tonight. I think that you guys are going to want to be in your let's build places, those places where you have no interruptions. You don't hear the dog barking in the background. The kids aren't pulling at your skirt tail or your coat tails. And, you just want to make sure you're taking very copious notes and you want to make sure that you can concentrate on the information that will be delivered tonight. So in just a second, I will go to the chats so that we can welcome everyone to the call. Let's see, we have Barbara Tresnick chiming in from Arizona. Welcome to the call, Barbara. We have Carla Guinn chiming in from Baltimore, Maryland. Hi, Carla. Good to see you tonight. We also have Rod Obi chiming in from the DMV. Welcome to the call, Rod. Welcome, everyone. Please don't forget, if you're just chiming in, if you're just logging on, make sure you're in your designated areas, your Let's Build spaces, so that you can make sure you are not distracted. You can get all of the valuable information that will be shared tonight. You want to make sure that you're taking copious notes. You want to make sure you have your coffee, your tea, whatever it is that you need to set the tone, set the stage for this amazing presentation. Again, my name is Latoya Landry, chiming in from St. Louis, Missouri, and I will be your host tonight. So again, let's see who we have that's joined us here in the chats here on Zoom. Dr. Arlene, chiming in from Maryland. Welcome to the call. Hi, I haven't seen you in so long. We also have, let's see, Apostle Serge, chiming in from Boston, Massachusetts. Welcome to the call. We have Amanda Showell, chiming in from the DMV. The DMV is representing tonight, y'all. Let's go ahead and throw some fires. Let's really get, just fired up, guys. This is some amazing information. People are making a lot of money. So I want to see that excitement translate in the chat tonight. I know you are waiting for this amazing information. We also have Jonathan Warner chiming in from Virginia. Welcome. Candy McDonald from Houston. Welcome to the call, Candy. We have Carl McNeil chiming in from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. All right. I've never heard of that one. Welcome. I see the fire. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Let's get it going. Let's set the atmosphere. We have April chiming in from California. Welcome to the call, April. We have, let's see, Kendrick Philpart chiming in from, well, he hasn't said, but he's got his fire in the chat. Thank you for your fire, Kendrick. Welcome to the call. All right. We also have Joshua chiming in from Maryland. Welcome to the call. All right. You guys are, I can't keep up anymore. It's getting hot in here. All right. We are just about at the time, guys, where we need to go ahead and introduce our speaker tonight. I know you thought it would be, but I am not the speaker tonight. Unfortunately, you have an more amazing person than myself tonight. So before we get started, I would love to introduce to you our amazing speaker tonight. She is a servant leader by nature. She has led and grown teams, helping others as well as myself achieve multiple goals. She has mastered the skill of edification and has taught others, including myself, this valuable skill as well. She has a genuine passion for helping others. I have had the pleasure of working with this beautiful young lady years now, and I admire her. The value she has added to my life is worth its weight in gold. So, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to step out of the way of greatness as I introduce to you one of our very own Miss Carley Guinn. Go ahead and take it away, Miss Guinn.
Thank you so much, Miss Latoya Landry. I so appreciate you taking time out of your evening to host the call. You did an extraordinary job. Ladies and gentlemen, let me get some hearts, some fire, some love in the chat for Latoya. She lit up the call and brought the energy, and you guys did too. And I'm so excited for that. I'm fired up, and I'm glad to see that you guys are on the line, excited and fired up as well. So she says some great things about me, and she is just as amazing and awesome as well. So I'm sending that edification and love right back to her, right back her way, because she's an extraordinary person, and I've had the pleasure of working with her for quite some time, and excited for all the awesome things that are happening for her in her business and in her life right now. But you guys didn't come on the line to hear about me. You didn't come on the line tonight to hear about Latoya. I will share a couple things about my background just so you know how I ended up here on the line with you guys tonight. And then we're going to dive in, and I'm going to share with you how this extraordinary opportunity can change and transform your life and help you to build your bank account. Because I know that's why you guys are here, right? Not to hear about me and mine. But I'm from St. Louis, Missouri as well. I currently reside in Orlando, Florida. I have a background in makeup artistry as well as sales. And I've been in the networking industry, direct sales industry for quite some time. To be quite honest with you, I really was fed up. I really had enough. I really was like, you know what? I'm just entrepreneured out. If anybody is on the line and they understand and they feel me, let me say, I get it in the chat, okay? Because as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you have ups and downs, ebbs and flows. And I said, you know what? I think maybe I'm good on this for right now. But when I saw this extraordinary opportunity, and more importantly, I saw who is at the helm leading this business, I said, you know what? I can't miss out on this. I gotta get back in the ring one more time to really grow my business and bank account and help a lot of people all over the world with this wealth transfer. So with that being said, let me share my screen so we can get into it, so we can dive in. Let me know in the chat if you guys can see my screen okay. You guys? Okay, thank you.
Good, Miss Carley Guinn.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate you. So the name of the company is BYLD Network. We're teaching you how to build your mindset, build your business, and build your net worth, okay? So let's talk more about that. What makes us different? So we are a high ticket brokerage, all right? We have 4 high ticket verticals, and each have huge income potential. And that's one of the things that really stood out to me. Again, I've been in direct sales before. Perhaps if you're on the line, you have as well. If not, no worries. You don't have to have any background in that. We have a lot of people who don't and who have not, and they're hitting a lot of goals and achieving a lot of things right now. But I do have a background in that. And one of the things that was frustrating to me, a pain point that I found, is that, in low ticket sales, even though it's direct sales, a lot of the products and services they're a low ticket price point, right? So there's only so much profit margin that's there for you to be able to tap into for yourself and the people you're working with. So unless you have a lot of people that you're working with in your brokerage, you really limit yourself to the income potential that you have the opportunity to earn. As where with a high ticket brokerage, the income potential is really endless, whether you have a lot of people within your brokerage or not. And I love that, because you may just want to have you and a couple other people. You may just want to tap into the high ticket sales yourself. And you absolutely can do that without having anyone else be a part of the brokerage. And you still have the opportunity to earn those 6 and 7 figure incomes that you probably want to earn. I know majority of people who are looking to grow a business is because they're looking for that kind of income potential. So why build a business? Well, as you see here, no one is coming to save you, right? I don't know about you, but I haven't had anybody that's knocked on my door and said, hey, do you need help with any of your bills? And if they do come to your door, go ahead and give them my address as well, okay? If you have somebody that's just logging on and paying your light bill, you have somebody that's logging on and just paying your credit card bill or your cell phone bill, go ahead and let them know to reach out to Carley as well, because I would be more than happy to have them do that for me also. But I don't think anybody on the line has that happening, right? And so you have to be the one that's leading the ship for your family's financial future and for your financial freedom. Entrepreneurship used to be a should, but now it is a must. You have to have multiple streams of income in order to really be able to create the lifestyle that you want to live out here. I know for me, I've been in that position before where the place I was working actually said, you know what, hey, we don't need your help anymore. We're gonna go ahead and lay you off. And I'm grateful that I had other streams of income lined up, that it didn't put me in the same spot as if I had nothing to fall back on, nothing to help fill the gap while I was building other streams of income as well. So in this day and age, you got to make sure that you're protecting yourself and your family. And the only way to really do that is to be in control of your finances and in control of the income streams that are coming into your household. So again, we live in the age of the gig economy. I know majority of people that I talk to, they have multiple streams of income, whether that's multiple jobs, a job and a gig economy opportunity, you name it, or building their own business, building multiple businesses. Again, it's all about having that diversification. It's the name of the game, right? So you see here in Google, how to start a business. There's 13.5 billion people who are searching for those results, right? And those results that are coming up there. So we have a way for people to be able to make the money and income that they're really looking to earn, and to do it in a very simple way with products and services that are in high demand. So that way, people that are looking at Uber or Etsy or Airbnb or Shopify as a way to grow wealth, they can do that a lot simpler with what they have access to with BYLD, with their high ticket brokerage. So in case you're on the line and maybe you've never looked at a business before, maybe you're like, you know what? I've never been in business for myself. I don't even know where to begin or how to know what is the right fit for me. Well, you want to look for industries with a big ticket market and low market penetration. Okay. So businesses that, again, have those high ticket items, and that are able to reach a lot of people, but not a lot of people have taken advantage of it yet. Essential goods and services like gas, electricity, water, coffee, things that people use and have to use and need to use and want to use all the time. Industries that are going to thrive in a good or a bad economy. So again, you don't want your business, your product or service to be something that's optional for someone, where when they start making cuts in their budget, if they need to, your product or service is the first thing that goes, right? So you want to make sure that you're in that thriving industry. So let's take a look at the industries that you have access to when you partner with BYLD Network and launch your own high ticket brokerage. Okay. So you have Encore Solar and with Freedom Forever. You have Rain H2O alkaline water. You have ADT Brinks Home Security, and you have the Smart Money Club. So let's talk about the type of income potential that you have with each of these verticals. So with Encore Solar and Freedom Forever, you have the opportunity to earn $6,000 to $10,000 per sale. Okay, again, per sale. So you can see how those dollars really start to stack up, and how you can really create wealth for yourself, even if you're just having sales yourself, if you're not even, helping other people, right? But just yourself, you can really start to grow that 6 and 7 figure business just from your own sales. So now let's look at ADT and Brinks. With every ADT or Brinks sale, you're going to earn $500 to $700 per sale. Okay. These are really great margins, really great numbers that you have access to. And then of course, one of my personal favorites, Rain H2O alkaline water. You're going to have the opportunity to earn $1,000 to $2,100 per sale with rain H2O water. And guys, every single person out there needs clean water because the water out here is just really not what's up in the tap, okay? So you really, if you don't have clean water already, you need to get that. Every single person out there needs rain H2O. And then, of course, you have residual income potential with the Smart Money Club. We're teaching you, again, as you heard in the beginning, not just how to earn income, but also how to keep it, how to grow it, how to store it, how to improve your credit if you need that. So all of that is inside the Smart Money Club, how to save money. I know for me, I actually just booked a through the Smart Money Club, through one of the portals that you have access to and BYLD. I actually booked a trip for myself for my birthday, going to one of my favorite resorts down in the Florida Keys. On that company's site, it was going to be $300 to $400 a night if I booked straight through the hotel. Through BYLD, it actually ended up being $169.99 per night. So I was like, let me book that immediately. So again, lots of benefits, lots of perks for just being a part of BYLD Network outside of just the income earning potential. So let's talk about solar, right? You saw the income potential that's involved in solar. Solar is huge right now. And guys, who doesn't want to have clean energy and have their electric bill eventually go away, right? So let's talk about solar and the benefits of it. So why get into the solar industry? Well, size and timing of the opportunity is exactly that. There's 130 million homes in the US. Approximately 5 million have gone solar, but 90 million are eligible for solar. So there's 85 million homes eligible and currently do not have solar. So I don't know how about you, but if you 85 million times 6 to 10,000, those are some really great numbers, right? I don't know about you, but I would like a nice percentage of that, right? Are you guys with me, right? Would you like to tap into 85 million times 6 to 10,000? So it's really exciting when you hear those numbers and you think about that, but also think about the benefit that's there for the customer. So you're able to earn income by helping people to save up to 50% on their energy costs, to be able to have clean energy and again, have their electric bill eventually go away. So you're helping people and earning 6 and 7 figures at the same time. So again, the benefits for them as a consumer is they're going to save up to 50% on their energy costs. They have 0% down with various financing options available. They have blackout protection, okay, with specific batteries. I live in Florida. I know a lot of people who live in Texas, where I'm from in Missouri. They just had a huge tornadoes come through there. And again, in Texas and Florida, they have hurricanes all the time, Louisiana hurricanes and storms. There's so many people I know that have experienced blackouts. And guys, if you don't have a generator, if you don't have something that's offering you energy, like what are you supposed to do? I know it was, I think last month, Spain and Portugal had blackouts for like an entire day, like the whole country. But guess what? If you have solar, if someone has solar, they don't have that issue because you're still able to get energy from the batteries that you have and from the solar that you have without having to worry about, you know, not having electricity. So that's huge. Tax credits, receive a tax credit up to 30%, an immediate increase in your home's value. And I know for people who live in California, I think is it by the end of this year, someone, if you know, put in the chat, that those homes have to have solar, like it's required. So again, out there, everybody, if they don't have solar already, they have to get it, right? And clean energy. In 2022, someone went solar every 44 seconds. And guys, that was in 2022. What do you think that number is now? And if somebody knows, again, put that in the chat for me. So what do you see here? Right? Houses, a neighborhood. What I see is an entire screen filled with people who need solar, rainwater systems, security. They probably need some help with their finances, learning what to do with the dollar, learning what to do with money, because most of us are not taught that in school. So if it's not something your parents just knew, you don't know, right? And so I see nothing but opportunity when I look at this screen. If you're with me, let me see your hands in the chat. Let me see some ones in the chat. So here's a few customer testimonials, right? So you can actually see the numbers for yourself. So here's a customer in California. They were paying before solar $287 a month for their energy bill, okay? After solar, $148 a month. That is huge. That's a huge savings. The commission on this deal was $6,400. So if you're closing the entire deal yourself, you're getting that entire $6,400 commission yourself. If you're working with one of our mentors to help you close the deal, which really looks like you adding a lead as a referral and them kind of doing a lot of the heavy lifting behind the scenes, they're going to earn 3,200 and you're going to earn 3,200. But I don't know about you, but that's the biggest referral bonus I personally have ever seen. $3,200 just for sharing solar with someone and having someone else close the deal for you and help them and get everything set up for you. So here's another customer testimonial, Florida. Okay. So again, this is where I live, where some of you guys on the line live. And I'll tell you, especially coming up right now with the weather that we're having, the heat, whoo, these energy bills down here are ridiculous. Okay. So here's this person, $410 before solar, $290 after solar. Again, a huge savings for them. And eventually that bill will go away. All right. Now the commission on this deal, $8,200. How would you like to close a deal and your commission for one deal is $8,200? For some people, that's more than they make in a couple months, right? For a lot of people out here. So one deal and you're good to replace your income, depending on what your income is, for a couple months. That's huge. Again, if you're working with a mentor, you're going to split that. So you're earning 4,100 and the mentor is earning 4,100 as well. But again, I'll take it, right? So it says, I want to go back one. So you see here a solar presentation, sales presentation. It's not a presentation. It's really an IQ test, right? And I bring that back to point that out because it just makes sense. It makes sense for everybody across the board, for the customer and for you as the person closing the deal as well. So energy costs over time, you're having a 6 to 8% annual increase over the course of time, right? So you look at today's payment might be $150, but in 10 years, that electricity payment is going to be $300. And in 30 years, $1,500. I know I personally have never seen my electric bill decrease. Unfortunately, I'm currently in an apartment, so I can't take advantage of solar. I wish I could, especially after I saw my most recent electric bill. But guys, look at what a homeowner is going to experience over the course of that 30-year time frame if they don't go solar. And I've got news for you. They're going solar anyway, because part of what the electricity company is using their money to pay for is their own solar farms. So they might as well be paying for their own solar personally, that eventually they won't have electric bill, won't have a solar bill, versus paying for the electric company to get solar and now then just turn around and charge them back for the solar that they already helped them pay for. So you see here, the total electricity costs $225,000, approximately $54,000 by going solar. So that's $171,000 in savings just for going solar. I know personally, if I have to choose between paying that to the electric company or having that to be able to invest or into retirement or to just be able to live my life and do what I want to do, I'd definitely rather have it in my pocket than theirs. And I'm sure all of the customers out there in those 85 million homes would absolutely agree. So lock in your electricity costs, no money down, and receive a 30% tax credit. So energy deregulation will be one of the largest transfers of wealth in history. Someone that I love very dearly, a very sharp mentor of mine, someone I hold in the highest of regard, once said that you don't want to take advice from someone that you wouldn't trade places with. Well, without question, I would definitely trade bank accounts with Warren Buffett. And I'm sure everyone on the line would agree with me. So guys, don't miss this opportunity to take advantage of, again, this huge wealth transfer. You see, he said the largest transfer of wealth in history, and you have the opportunity right now to be a part of it. Don't miss it. Right now, I have the honor and privilege of turning the call over to an expert in this industry. He's a results-driven entrepreneur and a respected business leader, a husband and father of 4, all under the age of 5. Don't know how you have the energy for that, but kudos to you. He is known for his integrity and empowering leadership. He's a passionate mentor, helping others earn 6 figures from home. And his commitment to building generational wealth and legacy-focused businesses is what really stands out to me about him, and why I consider it an honor to share the platform with him this evening. So please help me welcome again an expert in this industry, someone who is out there killing it and helping a lot of people, Mr. Hans Petit, Homme.
Wow, wow, wow. Miss Carley, can you hear me loud and clear?
I can, sir. Take it away.
Listen, I appreciate the information you just shared. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to give it up. Please clap your hands for Miss Carley, because I'm going to talk about the compensation. But if you understand the opportunity, Miss Carley just delivered it on a silver platter for you all. So Miss Carley, thank you so much. Phenomenal information. I'm excited all over again, ladies and gentlemen. Right? When I say I'm excited, I'm excited. Ms. Carley, thank you once again. And as always, it's Tuesday, and I say happy, terrific Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hans Petit. Homme. I'm calling in from Money Making, Maryland. That is right, Money Making, Maryland, right? For those in the DMV, we know we're about our money. All right. So I get the pleasure and the honor of sharing with you all the compensation, right? And before I even dive in to the compensation, it's only fair, it's only appropriate to just give you a little bit about my background, okay? I'm gonna share my screen, and I'm gonna do something that a lot of you are probably doing anyway, all right? Who is Hans Petit Homme? If you Google me, I'm gonna come up. I spent 20 plus years in the financial space. And I'm saying that not to brag. I just happened to be a kid from Brooklyn, New York, in a Haitian household who grew up watching this show called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, right? I'm giving you guys my age, right? And I fell in love with money. I fell in love with the opportunity to be able to buy and afford whatever I want. Unfortunately, my background, my family came from, we were lower middle class. But the opportunity to be raised in New York City and go into the finance field intrigued me. I became a financial advisor. I became one of the top 3 financial advisors in the Upper East Side. And not to mention, right, from there I became a private banker, business banker, commercial banker. Along my journey, ladies and gentlemen, I met some phenomenal clients who became friends and mentors. And they told me, Hans, if you want the lifestyle you want to live, look for multiple streams of income. One of the incomes I turned to was the networking industry. I fell in love with people. I fell in love with a passion to be able to walk into a community, a network, and have individuals who look like me creating multitudes of income. Right? Then I took that opportunity and I opened up some franchises. Did very well. Sold a few, made some money in other businesses, lost some money. So back in a year and a half ago, I was not looking for solar. Little did I know, this has been the best opportunity I've come across the last year and a half. Because here's why. Right after COVID, okay, my wife and I were looking to open up another franchise in the home health space. The opportunity required a $200,000 deposit. Went through the process. Thank God they failed the audit process. Why am I sharing this with you? Because a lot of us on this line, if this is the first time you listen to this presentation, I want you to take note clearly. The person who invited you, tell them thank you. Because a lot of us were not looking for this opportunity. I knew nothing about solar panels. Absolutely nothing a year and a half ago, right? But what I knew is that we had two beautiful kids at the time. My wife was pregnant, right? So now we have 4 kids. And the last time I checked, private school is expensive. Nannies are expensive. So I needed the additional income. I wasn't looking for solar, right? Some of us need an opportunity. It's great. I had a phenomenal career. My wife has a phenomenal career as well. But we know we needed additional income. And that's when BYLD was introduced to us. And when I looked at the opportunity, the same way you looked at it, I said it made perfect sense. I get a chance to partner with a company that has a platform that's going to allow me and my family to participate in 4 main industries: solar, residential and commercial, home security, and alkaline water. I said, I'm in, because the numbers for me made sense. So I'm going to talk about the income, but I'm going to keep it so simple that my 5-year-old kids will understand the opportunity. There's 7 ways we earn. Okay? Let's first start with personal sales. Here's how simple it is, ladies and gentlemen. If you step out of your home today and you walk the block or you walk your community, you will see homes. These homes have rooftops. Imagine every single home you touch, the homeowner said, yes, I want to go solar. An average system in our industry, the profit is $10,000. BYLD, the company, pays us 70% of that profit. Therefore, LaToya, you just made $7,000. To me, that made perfect sense. But because I was brand new, I needed to be mentored. Therefore, we have a mentorship program in place. So when you find a customer who's willing and ready to go solar, you're going to tag a mentor. We have the best mentors in this business. I know because I learned from them, right? The mentor is going to split it in half, 50-50. Numbers went off in my head. Day one. I said, Hans, if I can get 10 customers in 1 year, that's 12 months, times 7, that's $70,000. I said, nanny's paid off, daycare's paid off, and I may even get myself a nice vehicle. It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. But what happened is I fell in love with the business. I got my first 3 deals, trained by one of the best in the business, and then I got 5 deals of my own. Who are the 5? Referrals, friends and family. Because I understood one thing. My electric bill was going up. I tell this story all the time. My kids play this game called Leave the Lights On and Let Daddy Chase You Around. I'm 44 years old. I can't chase these kids all the time, right? So the light bill was going up. The minute I went solar, I cut my savings, over 30% savings, ladies and gentlemen. And I happen to be in a wonderful state of Maryland, where the federal government and the state paid me to go solar. So it was a no-brainer. I became a mentor. For those on the line, listen to me closely. If your time is limited, I want you to move with speed. Get your 3 customers out the way. Here's a simple math. If the average commission is $7,000 a deal and you tag the mentor, so you don't need to sell anything. You just need to tag a mentor and refer. You average 3,500 times 3. Your first 3 deals, you average $10,500. By a show of hands, put in the chat if you can use $10,000 like yesterday. That was me. That was me. Let's keep it a buck, right? And then they said, Hans, get 5 deals in your own. Why? Because I wanted to be a mentor. What's the benefit of being a mentor? You get to work with phenomenal people across the country who has those relationships with homeowners. So I didn't need to go out there and market on my own and do leads and do all of that. No, I said, let me get to mentor. Right? Because if you believe like I believe, and somebody gives you the opportunity, you're going to run with it like your hair's on fire. So I got my 5 deals done. Right? So now 5 deals, let's do the math. Your first 3, 10,500 average. Your next 5, ladies and gentlemen, who knows math? What's 5 times 7,000? Put it in the chat. That's $35,000. So you mean to tell me part-time, I work this business 7 to 10 hours a week. What I used to do on the weekends is cut my own lawn. Nah, that's too expensive. I hire a landscaper to do that for me. So I buy back 3 hours. Doing those 3 hours, this past weekend I did 3 deals. Are you guys with me? I'm giving you guys numbers. So the next 5 deals times 35,000. What's 35,000 times plus 10,500? Now we're at $45,000. I want you to get the numbers, right? The system sell themselves. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to get this. We live in a time, like Carley mentioned, where it's tough. The economy is expensive. Our jobs don't value, they don't pay enough. Homeowners are always looking to save what? Costs. Electricity comes in every single month. And we get to educate this homeowner and say, Mr. Mrs. Homeowner, have you thought about going solar? 0 down, no money out of pocket. The federal government pays you to go solar. The states that you live in, depending on what they give you additional incentives, and you get to lower your electric costs every single month. And the fact that you own the system eventually is paid off, you have 0 costs. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not in sales. You guys with me? So you just made $45,000 with 8 customers. Put in the chat if that would be a phenomenal summer. Absolutely. So now as a mentor, you complete certification, you did 5 deals on your own, and now you're a mentor. As a mentor, ladies and gentlemen, you get to work with others. So let's say Dawn is a mentor, and I'm brand new in the business. Along with Crystal and John and Carla, we're brand new. Dawn is phenomenal. She knows this stuff. I'm not an engineer. Dawn, my client's interested. What if you are the mentor and 4 of us bought you 3 deals and you knocked out all 12 out the park? As a mentor, ladies and gentlemen, if you average $3,500 in 1 month, you just made $42,000. This is big business. That's why I'm so excited about this platform. Look, I get it. You don't need to go out there and build a team if you don't want to. By yourself, you can make $42,000 a month. Light bulbs went off and I went on fire. That's the opportunity, gentlemen. I'm giving you numbers because that's all I know is numbers, right? For those who decide to build a team, look, I love the solar commissions, but I love people more, right? I got to tell everybody, I'd rather you go out there and make $42,000. I'll be in the beach somewhere with the family, and I'm okay with some overrides. You guys with me? Building a team is not new. Don't be afraid to build a team. Why? If you have a nonprofit organization, you got to go out there and do what? Fundraising. That's building a team. Schools recruit. Jobs recruit. Churches recruit. Listen to me. I'm giving it to you as it is. So don't be afraid. If you have something that's so good you believe in, share it with thy neighbor. A blessing is not a blessing until we share with others. And in doing so, they're going to fall in love with the platform. And as a result, Bill's going to pay you override. I want you to get this. Here's how powerful this platform is. Let's say Barbie comes on and she has 10 partners who's excited. We're going to go out there and what? Thrive for our own deals. And let's say Barbie took a whole 6 months vacation to wherever she want to go. If 10 of us close 1 deal each, her override this month is an additional $6,300. Who would sign up for that platform? Oh, yes and yes. What if you start to scale and say, you know what? I could do 1 deal on my own. And you made an extra $7,000. That's $13,000 for the month. That's a full-time salary, working from home 1 to 2 hours a day, maybe. That's the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. And it gets gooder and gooder, we always say. What if those 10 individuals did 2 deals this month? Because you said, hey, take a look at this information, they got excited, company paid you an override of $13,800. I'm a finance guy. This made sense. Hence why we said, oh, no, not right now to the home healthcare franchise. And when you guys find out the cost of admission to play in this platform, you're going to run and say, get me in. Okay, let's continue. To get started, okay, you can be a consultant. My personal preference, I recommend you be a builder. If you're going to jump in the pool, jump with both feet in, right? Learn from the best. At one time, $199, that's what I paid. That was my investment. And then $100 for the platform. Your CRM, your back office, your training, your full access. Ladies and gentlemen, $100 is less than $25 a week to run a 6-figure a month business from the comfort of your home, part-time. That's valuable. Everyone I speak to, I said, whatever you gotta do, if you gotta skip Starbucks for 1 week, make sure your website that's gonna give you thousands of dollars is covered. Why do I recommend a builder? The Smart Money Club. This is the education piece. Because from time to time, a lot of us make money, but we don't know how to properly place it, invest it, store it. We teach financial mastery and business mastery. Two different things. Financial mastery, first you'll learn credit repair, credit building. We live in the United States of America. Credit is important. Okay? You'll learn the tools and you'll have access how to build and repair your credit. You'll learn tax planning. Because if you make $100,000, best believe your famous uncle's gonna want some. So you learn how to properly store and invest your from a tax planning perspective. You'll learn how to be your own bank. What's being your own bank? Look, I work with some of the best banks in this country, but I understand your dollar invested versus their dollar invested is two different categories. Two different, they'll make 20, 30% and you'll make 0.1%. Two different conversations. So you want to learn financial mastery, how to be your own bank, how to have a tax-free retirement. Because at some point, we're going to want to retire. Whether we like it or not, we're going to retire. It may not be stop working, right? But you want to have your money working for you. And on the other hand, business mastery, how to properly structure your business. This is a business, right? You'll learn how to establish corporate credit. Why? In case you want to invest in other businesses and opportunities. It's not 1, 2, 3 streams of income. It's 7, 8 streams of income. You'll get access to capital. Of course, you'll learn good debt versus bad debt. It's access, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Not only are you investing in a business platform, but you're getting access. And of course, with access in a network come exclusive memberships. I don't know if you ever traveled and stayed at the American Express Lounge. This is similar and over the top access. Exclusive discounts and rewards, some of your favorite restaurants, retailers, travel providers, you name it. Okay? And of course, let's talk about that residual income. The subscription on our platform, listen to me closely. We all have subscription, whether it's Netflix or Amazon. My wife has a box coming in every single day, right? We've had that for years. Our platform, the $99 monthly membership is a subscription. Company says, Hans, get 4 partners in this business. You don't need to pay the subscription. I said, really? I did that in less than an hour. Why? Because I want to keep my overhead as basic and zero as possible. You can't go lower than zero, ladies and gentlemen. But more importantly, you start to build an ongoing monthly residual income. When you build a team, there's 2 positions, left and the right team. If you're a guest on the line, listen to me closely. Just get in position. Just get in. Whoever invited you, be like, here's my credit card, just get me in position. You're going to learn the rest later. Trust me on when I say trust me on that. Okay? Some of it, your first 10 partners on the left team, 10 partners on the right team, company pays you a monthly residual income of $500. You'll build to $500. You're like, Hans, $500? You know, listen, here's how you want to think about $500. If you take $350,000 and you invest in a real estate investment, after you pay your mortgage and your expenses, you profit $500. Listen to me closely. That $500 comes in every single month without the overhead. All the way, ladies and gentlemen, to $250,000, $250,000 a month. What would you do if your life was impacted every single month of $250,000 being deposited? We have one of the most lucrative compensation plan in the market, the whole industry. We play in the largest, highest ticket platform, residential solar. We didn't even speak about commercial solar, where commissions are 40,000 plus. You have alkaline water where everyone needs. Ladies and gentlemen, you're in big time business. You get the upfront income with solar, plus you get the ongoing residual income. Here's my goal for you. Run as fast as you can. Have this monthly income surpass what you currently earn full time. It's going to give you options. Okay? We have the best in the business, and this is why I recommend the BYLD package. You get 4 brokerages: Encore Solar, Home Security, Alkaline Water, and of course, the Smart Money Club exclusive membership. As we wrap up, there's always 3 individuals looking at this opportunity. Person number 1 says, Hans, you could have stopped. Miss Carley said, made it plain and simple, I'm in. Where do I get started? To that individual, I'm going to say, welcome aboard. You're about to experience the phenomenon we call the BYLD Network. Now, you're going to have a lot of fun, earn a lot of income, and meet some phenomenal people, which will be friends and family. Okay, get back to the individual who got you to this invite and say, I'm in. Person number 2 says, I have questions. Get your questions answered by somebody in the business. Let me repeat. Don't go to your neighbor who thought about solar, but then said, Elon Musk is in solar, I don't want solar, and then you start going down a rabbit hole. Take care of home. Okay? Get your questions answered and dive right in. Person number 3 says, you know what? I see it, but I don't need any more income. To that individual, I said, welcome aboard. Why? Get started, make the income, and then donate to philanthropy. Be the best donor ever. Just give it away. There's a place for you here as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. Get back to the individual, and I promise you that you will be ready for the ride of your life. And let's make this year the best year ever. That's my time, ladies and gentlemen, from Money Making Maryland. Peace out. You guys have a wonderful night, and God bless you all.